It's time to swatch the Derwent Metallic Pencils. I'm so excited about this. These are absolutely gorgeous pencils, and let's explore them. The first thing I love about them is they come in this wonderful box. Lots of other Derwent pencils come in a metal tin, which has a separate lid, and I don't like it quite so much. But these ones come in this really gorgeous box. It's lightweight, slim, and the lid is attached, which is great. It's got this metallic clasp, so you just open it like that, and inside we have 20 wonderful metallic pencils. The pencils themselves are quite thin and they feel really lightweight. So when you hold them, if you've been holding something like a Derwent drawing beforehand, there's a big difference between how thick that one is and this one. But they feel really lovely, like a kind of, they feel really nice, like a kind of streamlined tool, something precision but lightweight. So they have a great feel to them. They're this lovely, gorgeous bronze colour with the usual Derwent black stripe and the colour of the actual pencil itself covering the end. And there are 20 colours, each one with its own number and name. So that's all the semi-technical stuff. In terms of light fast, I'm not sure. Haven't had a look. It says on the front, shimmering metallic colour outstanding on dark paper. We'll test that out later on both white and black. I'm just going onto the back to see if there's any information on light fastness. Highly iridescent pencils, blend beautifully together. Intense metallic formulation. Okay, so I can't see any specific information on light fastness on these pencils, but might have to go onto the website to check that out later. So I'm going to swatch them on black and white paper. I've got a little grid here for each one. There's 20 pencils, so I've got 4 rows of 5 for each one. And we'll swatch them on both papers. These are both really smooth papers, so I'm hoping I won't have too much grain coming through on this white one or on the black one. Then we can compare them, and then we'll do a little drawing and see how that works out. So let's get into it. I think I'm going to speed up the colouring so you won't have to sit there and painfully watch the whole thing while I slowly draw out 40 blocks of colour. But I'll give you the name of each one as I'm going along, and then I'll speed up the actual colouring part. This first one is silver. I notice I have a wobbly table again, which is really hard to avoid when you're doing colour pencils and going back and forward. But hopefully with the speeding up it won't be too annoying. This next one is pewter. Next up it's graphite, number 3. Number 4 is copper. Number 5 is bronze. Number 6 is antique gold. Seven is gold. Number 8 is yellow. Number 9 is silver mint. Number 10 is turquoise. I think it's going to be easier to put them side by side now, otherwise one of them will end up going off the screen. So this is green, number 11. Blue is number 12. Ice blue is number 13. Violet is number 14. Number 15 is purple. Number 16 is silver rose. #17 is pink. Number 18 is red. Number 19 is pink gold. And last up, number 20 is rose gold. So there are the swatches, the black and the white paper. I'm going to go over them just off screen and darken up a little bit because there's quite a lot of grain coming through still, and although I got a good coverage, I feel like I'd just like to go over it a bit more, but I won't bore you with the continued colouring. I'll do that and come straight back. So now I've been back and forward over the swatches and I think they're looking much better. So I'll just give you a brief overview and then we can swoop in and check out each one. So this is the silver, the pewter, the graphite, copper, bronze, then antique gold, gold, yellow, which is more green, silver mint, turquoise. So those two rows, you can just about see some blue in there, but not a great deal. And the silver mint, I can't really see any green in there. So on the white paper, those look quite grey, all of them. Then we have the green, the blue, the ice blue, which again looks quite grey, the violet and the purple. Moving on to the silver rose, the pink, which I absolutely love, the red, which at the end of the pencil looks more mauve, but on the paper you can see it's more reddy and is again gorgeous. Then the pink gold and the rose gold. I think you see the colours better on the black paper, so the silver, pewter and graphite really stand out really well. Then you've got the copper, the bronze, antique gold, gold and yellow, which again looks more green. The silver mint, you can much more clearly see that there is some actual green in there, and the turquoise again looks more blue. Then we've got the green, the blue, the ice blue, which again looks more blue than grey, violet and purple, and the silver rose, the pink, the red, which does look quite red on there, the pink gold and the rose gold. So that is how they're looking there. So it's quite a subtle colour palette, and coincidentally enough, I had a swatch card from a previous video where I swatched out the Derwent Graphitint pencils, and the colours are quite similar. As you can see, it's quite a similar colour palette, so that was quite surprising. Or not surprising, it's the same company, but it was quite interesting to see that, with different names obviously, but the colours, the overall feeling of it is quite similar. So I think what I'm going to do now is draw a bird, because we can use some of these lovely shimmery colours for that kind of shimmery feathery feel that they have. So I'll just prepare that and I'll be right back. So let's draw a bird. I'm going to do it first on white paper and then I'll do it on the black. I'm not using a reference for this, I'm just doing it purely from my imagination. So got a rough bird shape, and first thing I'm going to do is put in an eye using the graphite, and then I'll give it a silver ring. Actually, you know what I might do? I might do them at the same time because I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll just do the same thing on that black one. I'm going to take the silver mint and just go over its head. So just give it like a light covering, just to kind of get rid of that white paper. So I'm just trying to get a nice even coverage. The pencils are really buttery. As with all Derwent pencils that I've used, they go down like a dream. They're really smooth, soft. There's no kind of hard edge to them. On the Fabriano Polychromos, they have I think it's silver, gold, and a bronze, and those feel quite hard, and sometimes almost like there's a piece of grit in it. And so I've never really enjoyed using those for metallic pencils. But these feel completely different. They just feel really soft and incredibly nice to use, and that's both on the white paper and the black paper. I really do enjoy the Derwent pencils, all of the ones that I've tried, for that very reason, them being really soft. In terms of sparkliness on the white, you almost wouldn't necessarily notice that it was a metallic pencil, I think, unless you were kind of holding it in the light or got some light shining on it in a particular way. You wouldn't necessarily immediately look at it and think, okay, that's a really metallic pencil, like you would with if it were a marker pen, because it hasn't got that intense shine, and the colours are quite muted, so you could even conceivably just use these normally, and then when it catches the light in a certain way, get that nice surprise of the shine. But on the black, that's not the case. It's obviously much more apparent on the black. So I'm just going to go in and give it some little bits of texture, which don't really show up on the white, but they show up much more on the black. Okay, I'm going to keep the silver mint, but then I'm going to bring in some turquoise, and I'm going to do some lines of turquoise, some lines of alternating colours. So we'll do, again, I'm just keeping the pencil marks quite close to each other so that I cover as much as I can the grain of the paper. Drawing on the black gives instant satisfaction because you get that really metallic effect, which you don't quite get so much on the white paper. So I'm going to come in with green next. These would be great for doing that bit on the pigeon's neck that's already metallic and sparkly and shiny. You could do a pigeon in any kind of other medium or normal pencil and then just pull these out for the sparkly bit. Iridescent bit, not sparkly. Okay, I'm going to go for blue. And then I'll go back to the turquoise and do another 3 rows, same. Okay, I'm just going to take back the silver mint and just blend that a bit more as the head goes into the zigzag bit. Okay, the blue, I'm now going to take down the body of the bird and just go around these feathers. Okay, so I'm fill in with, I'm just looking at my swatch sheet thinking, I think I'm going to go back to the silver mint. So that will tie in with the head, and so we'll just fill in the feathers with that. Okay, I'm going to bring a touch of yellow in, just give it a teeny bit of colour, just a very small amount. I think that's enough. I'm going to give him a silver rose belly, so I'm just going to do the main coverage with that, and then we might come in with some highlights of something else. So I'm just going to go over that and just give it a little bit of feather texture here and there. And the same for that one. Okay, I'm going to come back with the pink and just give it some tiny flecks, which won't be very noticeable, but I'll just give it a touch of pink, which I always like to put in some. Feels more noticeable on the white paper, this one. And I feel like at this point it needs to have a pink beak. And I'm going to give it a really as solid pink a beak I can, trying to really cover up all the tooth of the paper. I want to go back in with the blue just over these ones because I feel like it could just be emphasized a little bit more. Now all we need are some feet and a branch. I'm going to go for the pewter for the legs. And then for the branch we'll take the copper, I think. And I'll fill it in with the antique gold. Just really light. And there you have it. 2 birds wearing the same outfit on different papers. I think it's much clearer that a metallic pencil has been used when you look at it on the black. It's just, you can see all that shine. Whereas on the white paper, if you're standing in a certain light, then you can see that it's metallic, but it's much more subtle and you probably wouldn't know if you just walked past it and didn't give it a second glance. So let me know which one you prefer. Who do you think wore it best? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.